All right. And here we are. Can you guys hear me? All right, good. So what's up, guys? So I thought this double loop podcast was live, and it wasn't live. It is recorded, and it'll be out next week. It was awesome, though. Hey, what's up, Christabel? Hey, Serene. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Brooke, Phyllis, Deborah. Is everyone starting to come over to the new channel? Hey, Michelle. How do I even get on a live? I'm so technical. You're here, Jen. Oh, I have to set it up, though. I'll set it up when... Hey, Fun. Hey, Val. I'll set it up. We just got to figure out a day to do it. So I was going to tape the podcast, but I can't tape it because I had headphones on, but it was awesome. Hope you're seeing I haven't received any emails. I've been with Double Loop for the last 2 hours. So I honestly haven't received anything. Hey, Charla. So all day today, I kept getting like email after email after email. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? This is like the most exciting thing I've heard in a long time. But the question is, did he do it on purpose? I don't know. Like, I was listening to try. I thought you weren't talking to them anymore. Make up your mind. I seriously thought he wasn't talking to them anymore. You went on this whole big kick how you weren't talking to them anymore. And there you are, right back in there. Right, Karen? Who's who? I'm PURPLEXEDQT. And by the way, and let me let this known. A lot of people are asking me where I got my name from. Like, where did it stem from? Why do I have this name? I think I've explained it, but let me explain it again. My ex used to tell me I was complicated as hell, but I was cute. And that's where the name came from. But people keep asking me. I thought I said this in another video, but that's why people keep asking. No, Crow, you didn't have to wait 90 days. It's just a matter of getting everyone over here. I couldn't wait 90 days. I mean, who called to? Oh. So what happened was, for you guys that didn't know, the state... thanks, Falcon. I have to pull up the exact email. But basically, either Fallon or the state or somebody working for Fallon called Kathleen Zellner thinking that he was calling Fallon or somebody in the state. Is that how it was? Let me pull it up so I can get a better, thing for it. Basically, they thought they were calling the state, and they actually left a message for Kathleen Zellner instead saying, hey, don't call Zellner. Absolutely don't call her yet. We need to find out if we even have the pelvic bone, so don't say a word to her. I don't understand how you can make that mistake. Like, did he not listen to the voicemail? Even if it was generic voicemail, it still says this is Kathleen Zellner's voicemail. Or, this is 518, blah, blah, blah. They don't even live in the same state. Kathleen Zellner does not have a Wisconsin phone number. So even if it was totally generic and it said nothing, it still says a phone number. So I really just find it hard to believe that he just did it by accident. Part of me thinks that maybe, just maybe, he had called in. He had called and went like one of those, oops, I didn't mean to do that, but actually did mean to do that. I don't know. Zellner had breached a rule of ethics. How did Zellner breach a rule of ethics? Hey, figure skating coach. Hey, we love you. It's lay people don't always know how to interpret science. That's what this whole podcast was about. It was great. Missy, I just got here, so I don't know, but I walked in and I saw a nightmare and I cut it instantly. It's all for making a murder 3. Falcon, I do have to ask though, why did she break ethics? She didn't break any ethics. He doesn't work for her. There's no ethics broken. I don't think that there was any ethics broken. So if you can explain, Falcon, I'm more listen. But while I give you a chance to explain, let me pull up the actual order. Contents of the phone calls not privileged. They don't work for her. That's totally wrong. It's not privileged at all. She had every right to write to the state to file something. And I also noticed that it's not on her website. So she did nothing but file what she was supposed to file. If sleuths looked up that file, so be it. But she absolutely didn't break any ethics. And whoever said that, I'm sorry, but they're wrong. She didn't break anything. It's not like she went on Twitter and said, hey, guess what? She did what she was supposed to do. She filed a supplementary motion, which she had every right to do. Missy, I ignored him. She didn't delete him. I did it. Because of what I walked into. Falcon, where are you getting this information? It was a private communication. Where are you getting this information? If you think you did this on, like, you're coming up with this on your own, I can tell you firsthand you're 100% wrong. If Travis or Eriko said it, they're 100% wrong. She did not do anything. She filed a motion. Wisconsin has public records. People are going to look to see if there's anything filed. She broke nothing. Wisconsin Rule of Ethics. What does the Wisconsin Rule of Ethics say? But now I still haven't pulled it up yet. Who brought it up? All right. I got to find out who said it to me. I can't see chat at the moment, so bear with me. Okay. Here we go. Let me get back to the room. All right, now I'm back in chat. All right. We are discussing what Zollner filed today. So she filed. All right, so I'm going to read it because I guess some of you guys haven't heard it yet. Just so you know, I can't see chat at the moment because this stupid thing is broken on my screen. So I can't see chat. But I'm going to read it. So, dear justices, hold on. I will not apologize for being forced to send a second letter to supplement Mr. Avery's pending motion because, as the attached transcript and CD illustrate, the state is trying to deceive undersigned counsel and this court about the status of the pelvic bone number 8675, which was recovered in 2005 from the Manitowoc gravel pit. The state has continuously represented to undersigned counsel since 2016 that the state was in possession of the pelvic bone number 8675. Undersigned counsel received a packet of never-before-disclosed ledger sheets on Friday, February 8, 2019. Undersigned counsel noted that the new ledger showed that the pelvic bone was listed as item number 9 and as being only human. Attached and incorporated herein as Group Exhibit 1 are new CCSD ledgers 87-90. The ledgers disclosed to prior counsel State 1 6869-70. do not have the September 11th, 2011 entry. The September 20th, 2011 police report had been previously provided to this court as Exhibit A to the January 24th, 2019 motion to stay the appeal and remand the cause for proceedings on claims for relief in connection with the state's violation of Wisconsin Statute 968.205 and Youngblood v. Arizona. The report indicates that the human bones from number 8675 were separated from the non-human bones, and all the human bones were transferred to the Whiting Funeral Home for return to the Halbach family. In light of this new information that the pelvic bone number 8675 was categorized as human and therefore would have been returned to the Halbach family, undersigned counsel made 2 urgent email requests today of Assistant Attorney General Thomas Fallon attached, and incorporated herein as Group Exhibit 2 are the 2 email requests to Mr. Fallon to call undersigned counsel immediately on her cell phone to confirm whether or not the state was in possession of the human pelvic bone number 8675. Mr. Fallon has consistently represented to undersigned counsel for the last 3 years that the state was in possession of the pelvic bone. Mr. Fallon never returned Zellner's telephone call and was instructed not to by his co-counsel, attorney Mark Williams. Mr. Williams inadvertently called Ms. Zellner's cell phone at 9:13 a.m. today and left a message for Mr. Fallon which stated, now mind you, this is Fallon's attorney. Call says, "Hi Tom, this is Mark Williams. I'll send you an email later today, but I don't think we should do anything or respond to her at all until tomorrow when we look into the bag and see exactly the pelvic bones are in there or not. So I would not respond until we look into the bag tomorrow morning, and then we can talk about it before we send a message. Thanks a lot, bye." That was left on Zellner's voicemail. Clearly, for the last 3 years, Mr. Fallon had misrepresented the state, was saying that they were in possession of the human pelvic bone, number 8675. On September 18th of 2017, Mr. Fallon again misrepresented the state, saying that they were in possession of the bone, went on and on. Specifically, undersigned counsel and Mr. Fallon agreed to have the state's expert, Leslie Eisenberg, and undersigned counsel's expert, Stephen Stimes, perform a microscopic examination of 8675. Because of the new information produced in the previously undisclosed ledger sheets, that 8675 was determined to be human. Undersigned counsel does not know if prior undisclosed testing has occurred prior to the bones being returned to the Halbach family. Undersigned counsel requests blah, blah, blah. The court considers letter and the attached exhibits in its ruling on Mr. Avery's pending motion. Blah, blah, blah. That's a serious, serious stuff. Serious. Falcon answered me. A lawyer receives a document electronically stored information related to representation of a lawyer's client. Falcon, you're not understanding the law. That has to do with Stephen Avery's information. If Stephen Avery needed to look in a bag of bones, it has nothing to do with the state. She did not break any ethics. You are misconstruing how the law works. That she didn't break anything. All right, let me back up. Falcon, again, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. Taking what science states and restating those findings, layman's terms. Before you were here, all right, enough. All right, you're wrong. A lawyer, all right, I got it wrong. And those originally should know the document electronic stored information. Falcon, they're talking about their own client. They're not talking about the state or the state's lawyer. Are you by any chance one of those Hillary emails send her to jail people? Huh? Oh, Falcon. All right. Who said she didn't call him and let him know he screwed up by calling her and she was notifying the justice? No, she did exactly what she was supposed to do. She filed a motion to supplement. That's major. I want to be there too when they're looking in the bag too. See, but that's the other part I don't understand, which let me get through the chat and I'll catch up. We love you. That's what we keep hearing. I just don't know. All right, so I'm all caught up here. You're eating chocolate truffles. Sounds yummy. Is it buffering for you guys? I see buffering on my end. So now that we established he's wrong, because Falcon, you're like way wrong. It is buffering, right? I'm getting buffering too on this end. I don't know why. Can you at least still hear me talk? Because I'm looking at it in the room and I see that it's buffering and I see that it's like offline. Can you hear me? All right, at least you can still hear me. I would say refresh your screens. I can't refresh though. Let me know if it ever cuts out. Falcon, she does not have to notify Fallon. You're wrong. I don't know why you think she's into that she has to call Fallon. She doesn't have to talk to Fallon at all. All right, good. Because like I said, on this end, it's showing that it's cut off and it's not working. But I can't refresh it. Falcon, no, she doesn't. I don't know why you think she does. She doesn't. She doesn't owe him an explanation at all. He screwed up. And to be honest, we don't even know if she did or did not. It wasn't Fallon that messed up. It was the attorney that screwed up. Like that, it is. That's his own fault. I mean, that's big though. Now, the other thing I caught from the letter, and I can say that Travis was asking about this bone in all of his questions about this 8675 bone. He is not Fallon's lawyer. No, he's a state's lawyer. You know, that's a screw up on his end. And that's a pretty big screw up, though. See, what I don't understand, though, and I could be wrong, but what I don't understand, though, is if they gave the Hallbox all of her bones, then why weren't these bones, why wasn't the pelvic bone included in that? That's what I don't get. It almost seems like 8675 is a pelvic bone, yeah. That was a good one, Bariana. 8675309. And I can't sing, so you don't want me to go there. Falcon, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. That doesn't include state. That doesn't include two lawyers. That's talking about a client. That is a client privilege. It is not lawyer-to-lawyer privilege. I just told you what you're missing. It's not lawyer-to-lawyer. It's client attorney privilege. It'd be equivalent of him leaving a note in a public place that had this information. Very good, Mama said. I'll agree with that. It's his mistake. It's his screw-up. She doesn't owe Fallon an apology. If Fallon's not our client, he's not even Fallon's client. He's representing the state. It's his screw-up. That message was not to the client. That message was to the attorney. I'm telling you, Falcon, you're wrong. I do know this. You're wrong. Of course the message wasn't supposed to go to Zellner because it was against Zellner. This is common sense. They believe she was sexually assaulted. That's why they kept the pelvic bone. Okay, that would make sense. But you can't tell a sexual assault from a pelvic bone. Can you? No. You can't. The message was not supposed to go to Zellner, Falcon, but guess what? That's his fuck up. Has nothing to do with, you know, ethics. Ethics have to do with the client. Has nothing to do with one attorney to another. I mean, it does to a point, but not something like that. He misdialed to Zellner. That's his problem. But, perhaps there's trade. Oh, you were talking to me, Charlotte. I agree. I don't think you can. I don't think there is. You can't have trace evidence on a pelvic bone. That means he raped a bone. I mean, why would there be trace evidence on a pelvic bone? Hey, Lizer. Maybe they thought they could find sweat DNA. Good one. They thought they could find sweat DNA on it. Laura, why are there only 56 people in here? Because it's a brand new channel and it's getting people over. I think 56 pretty good for a fourth live or third live. Not client, I meant co-counsel. She's not co-counsel. She is not their counsel. She owes them nothing. Nothing. They are representing two totally separate things. She owes them nothing. What's up, Dope Traveling? Hey, Tara. Ink dry. Bones or red herring. Excuse to file a motion. Okay. No, this is pretty intense, though. Because they lied. They absolutely lied. Is Falcon a Special Olympian? Williams is Falcon's co-counsel. That has nothing to do with Zellner. I don't know how many times I had to get this through your head. It has nothing to do with Zellner. Hey, Stephanie, the attorney fucked up. End of story. Nothing more to it. The attorney screwed up. That's his fault. Zellner doesn't owe anybody an apology. Zellner did exactly what Zellner is supposed to do. Take this information and run with it as fast as she can, as hard as she can, and throw it to the Supreme Court and say, see what kind of games they're playing? Imagine what else there is. This is the best thing that could have happened to Zellner. The best. Hey, Brady. Exactly. That's right. That's one voicemail that won't get lost or deleted. But it makes me honestly think, like, is it possible that he did it intentionally but not intentionally? Falcon is Zellner? Or Kratz. And I've actually spoken to Falcon. Falcon did my logo. Give me a quick recap of your thoughts. Oh, you're not going to stay all night, Brady? The quick recap is, I just wonder, is it possible that as an attorney, ethics could get to him? And, you know, this could be like the worst case scenario or the best case scenario, any way you want to look at it. But what if, just what if, guilt got to him? He knows that the state is shady. Like, what's the background on this attorney? Is he a legit attorney? Is he like a great attorney? Is he somebody that is trustworthy, that has no marks against him? Like, what if, just what if he did it on purpose? What if he sees all the games that the state's playing and it's getting to him ethically? Think about that. It's possible. I'm not saying it's definite. I'm saying it's possible. You don't think this will help? How will it help the state? It'll burn the state. That's what I'm saying, Serene. Hey, Beth, like, is it possible, exactly, Phyllis, that this attorney has a conscience and and I agree with you, Father. There's more bones in a KFC bucket than they have in that bag. I agree. Maybe he's realizing she's going to win and doesn't want to go down with them. That's possible. Hey, Romad. That's definitely possible. Hey, KT. Hey, Crow. Oh, Crow, you've been in here. Hey, KT. That's what I'm thinking. Like, that was my initial thought. I can't for the life of me see how a lawyer working for the state in such a huge, huge case could make that error. I just don't. I mean, it's possible, but I just can't see it. Did he just hang up with Zellner that he was on her, top list? Did he just speak to her recently? Was she the last person that called? Lisa says lawyers are technologically stupid. And that's true to a point. But, like, you could butt dial someone. But when you butt dial somebody in another state, it's because you spoke to them recently and you called them recently. So to think that there's, like, that she didn't do it, or like he wasn't the last one called, kind of makes me think that just maybe, that, yeah, he did it intentionally so he could sleep at night. Possibly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've called somebody because I just spoke to my ex, let's say, and then I went to call, my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, and my ex answered. I'm like, what the fuck did you answer for? Because he was the last person I called. So that would be like the only excuse, that if he just hung up with Zellner and she was the last one he called. Fallon and Kathleen are not right next to each other. What's Fallon's first name? Does anyone know Fallon's first name? I forgot. What's up, NYC? Eric goes to crap a brick if I donate $20 to this channel. I'll give it. You can't donate $20. You have to do it to my PayPal. There's no super chat in here. And who gives a shit? Tom. Okay, so T and K are nowhere near each other if you're going in alphabetical order. If you're writing lawyer, co-counsel, state, Kathleen, still not next to each other. There's no, even if you write, okay, if you had Stephen Avery attorney, but I highly doubt an attorney is going to put it in his phone as Stephen Avery attorney. He'd put it in as Kathleen Zellner. I just want Falcon to donate. Falcon actually did donate once. I agree, Lisa. Attorney does not really need an excuse. It was a misdial. It doesn't need an excuse. But I'm just saying that I just could not. Are you in MM2? Am I in it? No, I'm not in it. I'm not anywhere near Wisconsin. The Halbach's family have not been public. I think that's why they've remained private. Perhaps he hit a link inside an email when he phoned. That's true. That's possible. I'll give that one some credibility, Lisa. Allegedly. What's allegedly? So what exactly do you feel the repercussions of voicemail can be? Oh, this is big for Zellner. It's big. Because for exactly what she wrote in the letter, that, I mean, this, I'll be honest with you, this might be the first thing that I'm kind of excited about that she's put out in a long time. And I'm excited about it because it's okay that the lawyer said, don't call her back till tomorrow. He's entitled to that. But to say that we don't know if we have the pelvic bone, that's huge. Why wouldn't you have the pelvic bone if you've been saying for 3 years you have the pelvic bone, no problem? What if they didn't have the pelvic bone? What if they looked in the bag and it wasn't there? What was going to be their excuse for the next 3 years? Are they going to tell, the Halbachs, we need the pelvic bone back because we gave it to you accidentally? That's big, especially if an attorney, I mean, I'm sure they're going to come up with some stupid excuse like, why they couldn't do it or whatever. They'll have some excuse. But that's pretty big though. This is like the most exciting thing I've seen in a while, honestly. How'd you find out about this? I got like 20 emails sent to me or 20 text messages. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Because somebody, you know, the one thing about Wisconsin that's good for us, all of Wisconsin records are public. So as soon as Kathleen Zellner has filed something, there's somebody right there looking to see what was filed. Good job, Lisa. Everyone hit the like button. I can't see anything because mine's still frozen. I mean, at this point, it's either they get to test it or the state violated the law. It's a win either way, isn't it? Not really. Because you can make an excuse for part of it. You can make an excuse for some of it. You may not be able to make an excuse for all of it. Like, if they give the quarry the bones, that's fine. Tuttle, let me on the panel. You can't come on this panel. The panel is, it's a totally separate thing. It's for Google Hangouts. I have to set it up separately. We got to set it up because I can't just like bring you on here. It's a totally different setup. Here we go. Playlist. What's up? All my guilters are coming in. You have to intuitively read the content of the voicemail to possibly comprehend what may have transpired. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? You don't have to be a genius. I'm pretty smart, Playlist. You don't have to be a genius to figure out what the voicemail was saying. That's what she's discussing. Correct. I'm lost here. So what has Zellner done with this message? Zellner filed a supplementary motion to the Supreme Court to go with yesterday, to saying, like, I got this voicemail, and they've been saying that, you know, they've been in possession of it, and now they don't even know. Now, on the flip side, could it be major? It may not be major, but at least it's exciting that they're so callous and they're so cocky in their, you know, state. The state thinks that, you know, they could do no wrong. That's where, to me, it's exciting. Is it earth-shattering? Probably not, but it's still exciting. Hey, Sherry. I do not follow the case. However, the little I know is not looking good for Stephen. Jen, I absolutely disagree with that. Everything, the more that comes out, the better it looks for Stephen. I'm not saying that, like, for example, what could happen to the state with this message? Nothing's going to happen to the state with this message. It wasn't like they said, you know, we need to exhume the body, so we pull it up. But it definitively shows a pattern of deceitfulness that the prosecution should never have with the defense team. Hey, Shauna. But, I mean, it's not going to be so earth-shattering that, you know, that's it, it's over. It doesn't mean that they're going to walk out. Like, if the lawyer said something like, well, what are we going to do now since we don't have any bones? Or where are we going to get bones from? That would be major. But he didn't say that. He just said we need to find out if we still have the bone. He should have the bone. It should never even be a question. Can you do a recap? Explain who called and what it means. Some are not aware. Okay, I'll do a quick recap. So the state's attorney, forgot his name already, but the state's attorney, can Trump order a new trial? No, it's not a federal case. Can the state's attorney, there's state who's working for, the attorney who's working for the state. Fallon is the DA for the state. His attorney, or the state's attorney, accidentally left a message for Kathleen Zellner on her voicemail instead of Fallon. And it basically said, hey, you know what? You are going to, we got to look in the bones. Don't call Zellner back yet. Just hold off on calling her because we have to make sure that we still have the pelvic bone. That's the gist of it. The state is saying for 3 years that they have the pelvic bone. So it shouldn't even be a question of do they have the pelvic bone or not. It should absolutely have the pelvic bone because that's what they've represented. So that's what we're discussing. Tell PURPLEXEDQT how much you appreciate her hard work. She loves when you smother her with love. Ah, thanks, Fun. The message was to Fallon, essentially his client. His client. It has nothing to do with Zellner. Investigation going forward. Not enough room to really debate the whole thing here. No. So if you find evidence of sexual assault on a pelvic... You can't... There's no way you can find sexual assault on a pelvic bone. Unless, like, you used a broom or something. And it even touched the pelvic bone to leave DNA. All right. Let me just say this. All right. I'm going to get a little graphic. But let me say this. Stephen Avery was 5'6". I promise you he wasn't hung like a horse enough to get to the pelvic bone. I mean, let's be real here. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Late here, this girl's got to sleep. Have a good night, QT family. Thanks for the update. You're welcome, Liza. I'll keep you updated. I mean, right, girls? Come on. This is Stephen Avery we're talking about. I think we get it. Well, it's true, though. I mean, come on, think about it. It's Stephen Avery here. He's not hung like a horse. He's not going to reach a pelvic bone. Whoever handled the bones could have transferred to the bones for sure. Okay. What's up on defense? I could go on and on about the problems. Oh, there are tons of problems with this case. Tons. All right. Zelna realized that, oh my God, it's not privileged info. She was supposed to let them know. She doesn't have to let them know shit. Laura, now he won't get any more love letters. Hey, maybe he gets love letters because he sent out pictures of it. You never know. And transferred DNA. Well, yeah, I don't know. I can't see DNA or being able to cause a rape case from a pelvic bone that was burned. There's just no way. I know so little about this case, but that just cracked me up. How can you get Bobby Dassey to talk? Bobby Dassey will never talk to me. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I could not get one person in that family to ever speak to me. I've tried for 3 years. I am worried about the time that has passed when it comes to the evidence. I do believe that they gave the bones back because it would make their case fall apart. A gamble they were willing to take, I guess. I think that the person that left the message was covering his ass, and therefore he can claim ignorance. That's what I'm saying, Teresa. It's exactly what I am saying. Is that it's possible that he did it on purpose. If I state I have to see if the bones are there and they are not, even though I said you could test them, does that mean an error occurred in releasing them and get me off the hook? No, playlist. According to Wisconsin law, that would be a major, major error because, for one reason, if Stephen hadn't have asked to test those bones in 2011 before they gave them away, that's fine. But Stephen specifically asked to test those bones in 2009 or 10 and 2011. So, yes, it is a violation if they gave them away because Stephen had already asked to test them and they had no right to give them away. That's where that's wrong. When it comes to, but people underestimate the ease at which you can injure a pelvic bone. I don't know. Katrina, I think Katrina had written Stephen and maybe got some pictures. I'm just playing Katrina. Not enough character space. And there is problems in many cases, still doesn't prove innocence. But Jennifer, there's a lot of things. All right, let me rephrase that. We don't know if he's innocent or guilty. But when you look at all of the evidence and you connect all the dots, there's no way you can conclude he's guilty. By the forensic evidence standalone, yeah, you can easily conclude he's guilty. When you start connecting the dots of how that forensics got there, you can't say he's guilty. There's too many screw-ups. Mama said, Falcon, could you please show us the law rule? Mama, he's talking about a rule that has to do with client privilege. Has nothing to do with this, what just happened. He doesn't understand the law right, because he's wrong. That I know for an absolute fact. They actually fracture and crack easily than you would think, depending on position pressure. All right, Katrina, I'm going to leave this alone. I don't want to have nightmares every time I close my eyes, think of Stephen Avery naked. So I'm just going to zoom over this picture, over this image. Zoom. There's a case in Michigan. A retired detective had boxes of evidence. The chief of police is trying to play it off. What do you mean? The ankle is connected. Bubby's Pixie. All right, did I scroll up too far? Oh, no, I didn't. All right. The ankle bone's connected to the shirt. That's why I thought you were going, Charla. And I was like, please tell me it's not that song. It's going to stick in my head. But then again, I guess it's better than Stephen Avery naked sticking in my head. So it's all right. Contains information protected by lawyer-client privilege. The state's attorney is not Zellner's client. Again, you're misrepresenting the law. You're misinterpreting the law, not misrepresenting. I don't think KZ wanted this up her sleeve. Like, I think this is all new. She would have filed this immediately. All right, I know this is all about the bones, but has anything ever come up with the scratches on Bobby's back? I can't find somewhere I mention it. Thought you'd maybe have some thoughts. Yeah, it's actually been determined, Bubbies, that he said it was his dog, but they never did any kind of serious testing to prove otherwise. So we don't really know if it was from his dog or not. Teresa had no nails to test, for DNA, like under the nails, because the nails disappeared. So that's why. I need cliff notes. Don't have time for all that. I'll do my own live one of these rights. We can all debate. Okay. Immediately terminate review use of the document. Falcon, client attorney privilege. There is no privilege between the opposing counsel and you as counsel. There is no privacy. There's no laws affecting it. She did nothing wrong. I don't know how many times I could say it. The voicemail was left intentionally. That's what I'm saying. Become a Patreon member to help support the show. Thanks, Fun. Fallon, I want to research that. Ziggy, I'm telling you, he's wrong. 100% wrong. I know this for a fact. Kathleen clearly states her name in voicemail message. Oh, she does? That's what I was wondering. I've never called her, so I don't know. So if that's true that she does, then she absolutely, then he absolutely did it on purpose. And I really think that. I think maybe he has to live with himself. This message, Fallon, was disclosed to Zellner inadvertently. No. It was an error. I'm going to say this again. It was an error on the lawyer's part. A lawyer to another lawyer has no ethical grounds to keep your mouth shut. A lawyer who makes a mistake like that against the opposing client, the opposing attorney, that attorney has every right to use that against that attorney. Kathleen Zellner is not obligated to keep her mouth shut. Kathleen Zellner is not obligated to let this slide. Kathleen Zellner is certainly not obligated to have to call Fallon and say your lawyer's an idiot. She's not obligated to. She's going to take this information and run with it, and run as hard as she can with it, and never look back, because that's what attorneys should do. And I can't keep repeating it. Maybe that's why he had so many and pauses, it seems. He was a bit anxious leaving a message. That's true too, Brady. Williams represents Fallon essentially, does he not? Williams represents Fallon. He is not obligated to Zellner. Zellner is not obligated to him. Fallon is obligated to, Williams is obligated to Fallon, not to Zellner. breach of contract would be if Williams told Fallon something and Fallon told, no, I said that wrong. I was going to say Fallon told Zellner. If, I can't even think of a scenario. Cherry picking the law does not prove your point. Just take the L and move on, buddy. It's okay. We're all here for you. This doesn't work on chat. However, only bones were found. Most likely bones were also found off the property. You can't argue science. Taking objective evidence and turning subjective is not what is going to free Stephen. I agree with you, Jen. I definitely agree. Pelvic bone may have been mistakenly given to the hot box, so the bone bag has to be checked. Playlist, correct. Absolutely correct. But here's the thing. You can't say that you have this bone definitively. Hands down, you know you have it if you may not have it. That's Zellner's point. Zellner's point is not they couldn't make a mistake. Zellner's point is not they have to be absolutely perfect. Zellner's whole point is proving that there's corruption here. And there's corruption here because here's something else, just another brick on the wall that is stating that, hey, you know what? You said that there was going to be, you said that you had this bone definitively. You told me this for 3 or 4 times already. And you misrepresented it because you don't know if you have it. You could have given it away in 2011. However, you told me after 2011 that you did have it. And you told me 3 different times after 2011 that you did have it. That's major, Playlist. Major. That's her point. Get it through your thick skull, Falcon. Sean! Sean's back! Can Williams really continue his position in the case after this? I don't know. That's a good point, Renee. I honestly don't know. At first I thought Zipper did it. Nah. There was an actual body. There was never an actual body, was there? Supposedly not. Just bones. The woman wasn't missing long, so it's not like some cold case bones. Wasn't a car found with his blood. Or here we go with the car and the blood again. Does anyone think state is going to go against their own PD? Never going to happen. That's exactly why it wouldn't surprise me if this attorney made an error. Not every lawyer can be corrupt. Not every lawyer is a scumbag. Some lawyers value their careers and their ethics and their morals, and they want to be a lawyer for the next 50 years. And if it's the same lawyer that represented, I don't remember, but if it's the same lawyer that represented Brendan at the, that represented the state at the Alc Blanc hearing, he's pretty young. And it would not surprise me for 1 second if this call was done so he can sleep at night. I just think that. Williams is Kathleen's opponent. Exactly. On defense, no. Just bones that weren't even 100% confirmed to be Teresa's. Man, to stir stuff up. It does, right? I return triumphant. All right, Katrina. Just don't make me have those visions. Even if he receives a new trial, he will be convicted. I think, Jen, I absolutely disagree with you. You're basing that on absolutely nothing. When did they confirm that they haven't fully confirmed it? That's why she's trying to test it. Jennifer, your last 2 sentences sum it up well. It's a tough fight. Hit that like button. Thanks, figure. I noticed you have straight hair today. Looks good. Thank you, Brady. How come all the gay guys always notice my hair? What's up with that? Okay, during sexual assault, There is often damage to the superior rubric ramus is a part of the pubic bone which forms a portion of the arbiter. Way too many big words. No. Yeah, but Katrina, is that during burned? Like, does that include burned, or is that if you're not burned? Hey, Pink. What's up, girlfriend? Katrina, but was that like if the body was burned, or is that if the body is just still intact? That's the difference. Guys, if you want to laugh, like really, really laugh your ass off, you gotta go watch Pink Lady Luck. She is like the queen of parodies, and whenever you're in a bad mood, I suggest just watch her videos. She is hysterical. You can find her at Pink Lady Luck on YouTube. Amazing. And she's a Stephen Avery supporter and Brendan supporter. She's been here all along. Zellner tweeted, found out today the Wisconsin prosecutors want to work with KZ too. They just did not realize it. Thanks, and remember, we're just a phone call away. Ooh, that's good. Thanks, Crow. Talking like a Boston girl. No, that's Pink. I am not from Boston. Pink, that reminds me, we were making fun of, I forgot who I was on. I think I was talking to a makeup mobster. But I was saying, like, Boston accents are the worst. I was like, we have to do a parody of her, Pink, actually really imitating a Boston accent. Like, Boston, where's my car? So, remember, keep that in mind. Look up. They would be more evident if they were burned. Okay. Look at Biggie Tupac regarding the LAPD. They won't turn on each other. They will let someone rot in jail without batting an eye. Because the darkening would make it more obvious. I don't know enough about it to say it. I can't turn on Super Chat on this channel. I don't have enough people. No Maine. No way. Boston accents are the worst. Right, Crow? She's great. Not talking about lawyers. I'm talking about the police department. I deal with them on a daily basis. I know how the game is played. Falcon, the conversation was left on Zollner's phone, so even if the part of the law that you were referring to can be applied, it was not a conversation between client, lawyer. That's exactly what I'm saying. Impossible. I strive for justice every single day for my clients. It's an endless job. I agree with that. Mark Williams retired in December 2015 after handling more than 700 murder cases, is Milwaukee's top homicide prosecutor. Will you say coffee talk, Laura? Coffee talk. Sounds like coffee talk. No, man, I swear, I listen to Maine accent 10 times more profound than Boston. I don't know about that. All right, so hold up. Here's my question for anyone that can answer. Why does the state of Wisconsin keep using retired people? They're retired. Do they not have new people? Why do they keep bringing back retired people? Kosarik did it. They did it with some of the cops. Now they're doing it with the DA, with the lawyer. He's retired. Why are they bringing him back? Plex, why I asked you for reasoning, why you think he's innocent. Why I wanted to debate the topic. Tell me I'm wrong, doesn't explain. Because, Jen, for me to get into all the reasons why he's innocent would take 6 hours, which I don't have. That would be a whole new conversation. There's not one particular reason that make him innocent. I have 200 videos that will explain why he's innocent. But to sit here and go through every single thing, you can't. It's 3 years of investigations. That's why. It's nothing personal, but it's 3 years that I've investigated this case that I know he's innocent. And I know he didn't get a fair trial. Nobody has time but retired people. That's a good point. You might be right on that. In all fairness, Brennan did admit to being an accessory to murder twice. Kind of. But that's a whole nother story in itself, too. Ellie are weak and they need backup. That's true, too. Some Ellie, not all. Due to heat exposure. On defense, for the bones to look that way, they had to be physically crushed. If you look at the timelines, phone call evidence, evidence collection, interviews, Brennan's coercion, you'll see why people doubt the crime. That and then some. But that was good, Crow. However, it seems to be advised that the state of the entirety of the evidence is taken into account when determining the source of the fracturing. Pink, you came in late. Nor would anyone this involved in the case be chosen to sit in a jury. True. But I can assure you that, Pink, I'll answer you in a second, but I can assure you, Pink, that, not Pink, I can assure you, Jen, that although I agree with you, because the jury was so messed up the first time, they're not going to do it this time. The people that they're going to play it in reverse. People that they're going to say they don't know the case. They're going to say that they're going in there, you know, openly, and meanwhile, they're total truthers. I don't doubt that either. Happy Valentine's Day, Guy and Jackie. It's almost Valentine's Day, and I forgot to get my kids stuff. Oh, my God. I buy them chocolates every year, and I totally forgot. Bad mom. Bad. Oh, my God, Pink. Valerie's right. Do a parody of Barb and, I mean, I would say Barb and Bobby, but you have to do Barb and Brandon because we have transcript of those. Pink, I will be your Valentine. You could be will you be my Valentine? Woohoo, I got a Valentine. Floyd might get mad, Pink. As long as you don't mind a threesome with Floyd. You just have to share me with Floyd. Yeah, you do. You got to do a parody of Brendan and Barb. That would be awesome. All right, I'm currently reading Q&A with this Mark Williams, and I'm guessing he didn't do this for his conscience. He seems like a hardcore prosecutor, but he's retired. Says juveniles deserve stiffer sentences. Nice guy. I thought you said yes to me. On defense, I could go around. I could be more than one Valentine. He does have a history, and the police had it out for him. He's still innocent. He did. All right, let's back up for a second. Stephen Avery did not have this major record. Stephen Avery had a bullshit crime, which he was convicted of, and the bullshit is not what you think. It's the bar deal. He went in and robbed a bar of the beer out front. I know a lot of people that have done that. All right, seriously. You driving by, I mean, I shouldn't admit this publicly, but years ago, we used to drive by like Goodwill and thrift stores at night and steal all the stuff outside and just take it. I mean, people do it. Kids do it. Whether for joy or for selling, whatever. Oh, that looks cool. I think I'm going to swipe it. I mean, that's what kids do. I don't hold anything against him. So he broke into a bar and ate beer and sandwiches. Real good thief. The cat incident, is unexcusable. I will never make an excuse for the cat incident. All right. It depends. Some say he did it. Some say he didn't do it. His cousin, with the smear campaign. All right. You know what? He paid for it. He got in trouble and he paid for it. He served his time. He got out. The guy got caught for everything he ever did. Those are the three things he ever did. The cops hated him. All the other bullshit charges that you hear, the rape, the this, the that, he was never convicted of it. They didn't even have enough evidence. This will show you, though, that the cops will do anything to screw him. So after they let him out in 1985 and all these rape charges and everything else came out, they said that there wasn't even enough evidence to convict him. If they could find something to convict him on, especially a rape charge, they would have. They're bullshit. You can't convict somebody in the public view because you feel like it or because you don't like his character. His actual character, yeah, he did a couple things that were fucked up, but so do a lot of people, and they get forgiven. I'm just so tired of people bringing up his past. He didn't have a hardcore record. He never raped somebody, like really raped somebody, and went to jail for it. He went falsely accused of rape and went to jail for it. He didn't go around beating people up in a gang. I mean, it was bullshit. Where was I? I said I'm calling in. I'm going to read the entire rules of ethics over the phone. Should only take 5 or 6 hours. The rules of ethics do not apply here. They just don't apply. Were the bones burned in a smelter, sicky, ink dry? We don't know. What someone brought up the other night, which I could like smack myself 100 times for not even thinking about this or realizing this because I'm a total idiot, is that they could have been, half of them could have been burned in one place and the rest of them been burned somewhere else. They could have started to be burned in one place and then it wasn't working, so they piled her in a car or something and drove her somewhere else. There's a lot of different scenarios. But we do think that it's half and half. Beer and book. Thanks, Guy and Jackie. If they were organ involved in the case and the case still open is why missed it. Walmart is open all night. Bad mom. I'm not going out now. I gotta be up at 4:30. It's already after 11. But I usually buy them chocolate every single year, and I totally forgot. I'll get it for them when they get home from school. It's only been 12 days, Karen. I thought it was longer. Guys, hasn't Grant been gone for months? It's only been 12 days. Oh, he's home for 12 days. All right, I get it. No, 2 crimes on record. Oh yeah, because he had the gun, the cat, and then the bar incident. 3. Okay, I gotta go now. I'm sufficiently traumatized. The majority of the group and nightmarish imagery. Gotta go to bed. I'll forgive you, Katrina. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Where the retired, maybe has dementia. Just saying, it's possible. After what he did today, it's possible. If they needed it. Oh, so Pink, you wanted to know what happened today. So to make the long of it short, is that somebody, the state's attorney, meant to call the state, the DA on the state, Fallon, and accidentally called Kathleen Zellner and left a message for her, basically negating what the state has been telling Kathleen for the last 3 years, that they have the bones and they have the pelvic bone, which is number 8675 in the ledger, and that, they've had it for 3 years, and there's, Stephen Avery can test them whenever they want and blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that the lawyer for the state had left him this message on Kathleen's voicemail saying, no, don't call her back. You don't want to call her back yet, because once you call her back, we need to find out if the bone is in the bag. We need to open the bag and see if the pelvic bone is even in there. So wait till tomorrow. Wait for my instructions. Don't call her yet. That was accidentally left on Zellner's machine instead of Fallon's. That's the update. They need to move case. Yeah, but I don't even know where they're going to move it. Stephen is less than smart. That is evident. Nor is it a normal response to go put a gun in someone's face. Jen, where do you live? They may very well have the bones, as Fallon indicated. Exactly. It was like, damn. It would apply if the conversation was actually between Fallon and his lawyer. That's exactly right. Right, Falcon? So why don't they know for sure where the pelvic bone is? Absolutely. Every time someone says cratch, you find $20. Works for me. Why can't they do a retrial out of the state? They just can't. I thought she was going for a federal case, but I was told no. Jennifer, you need to go look into this case more. That's why so many people are angry about this case. They didn't follow the rules. That's exactly right. Good call, Deborah. Very corrupt. And that's the whole thing. I mean, this was like golden. They do know for sure. No, Falcon, they don't. That's the whole point. They don't know for sure. That's why he left that link. He doesn't know for sure. Kratz, Mac, and Sleaze. Oh, I like that. That's a good name. Pink, does that work? See if that works for your channel. So guys, again, if you really want to get some laughs, she is amazing. And I will let you guys know when she does a Barb and Brendan parody. That will be hysterical. Verbal constipation in its entirety. Possible that Williams is simply not up to speed with what Fallon knows. All right, good. I'm going to put it in the description box. All right, guys, if you need Pink's channel, it's in the description box. Pink. All right. You subbed the other day. You just subbed the other day. You should have been subbed all along. No. Deborah, why we were supposed to debate. I have my own case to work on. Don't have time to read years of evidence. Jennifer, I'm actually very surprised to hear that from an attorney. I'm not going to debate somebody that doesn't know the case. Like, I will gladly debate somebody, but you have to know the case. I thought you really knew the case. Hey, K Mello. This phone voice moment only goes to highlight what we already know. State is incompetent. Absolutely. It is a lot of information. It's really the only way to get to know the case. Yeah, I mean, Jen, I don't have a problem debating you, but I'm not going to debate someone who doesn't know this case. I mean, that's kind of what happened with the forensic guys, is that they definitely knew forensic evidence, but they admitted they didn't know all the details of the case. They didn't know the ins and outs of the case. They didn't know a million other things. I've been on this case for 3 years. Complicated case. It's very complicated. Laura's been... thanks, Pink. He doesn't really have any financial resources. Who? Who doesn't have financial resources? There are a lot of videos on Laura's other channel. Yes, there are. 208 of them. Steven shouldn't have to leave. Oh, okay. The bones may very well be sitting there as Fallon, according to Zellner. Zellner may well be exposed to sanctions over this last filing. Maybe she knows this. Maybe it's sort her out. That's it. Where's my mods? Where's my mods? No, I'm just kidding, Falcon. Falcon, what do you mean her out? This is in favor of her. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It's in favor. The reason why I asked where you were from is because I thought you were from New York. And being from New York, we don't think go out with a gun. But I learned from living in the Midwest, they do. It's not like you would think New York City or Long Island, yeah, go out with a gun and, you know, go get your gun and you're going to go after somebody. That shit doesn't happen. But in Wisconsin and bumfuck Wisconsin and bumfuck, you know, Iowa, they do this shit every day. They carry guns, you know, like, I'll give you an example. My kid's school, this is 6th grade elementary school. Elementary school has a big sign on the door. firearms are not prohibited. Who would bring a fucking gun to an elementary school, their high school, their junior high school? Because it's Alabama and almost everybody owns a firearm. So there are signs everywhere, firearms are not allowed, firearms are prohibited, blah, blah, blah. Everywhere, even in elementary schools, even in nursery schools, there are signs, firearms are not prohibited, because everybody carries. It's not like that in New York, but when you come to different states, it is like that. So Stephen grabbing his gun and going after his cousin is like another walk in the park in another day in Wisconsin. That's the difference. If he's being harassed to the point of an entire police department pinning a murder, nobody said anything about the entire police department. Yes, I tried saying making a murder case she's done deserves an academy. Ah, thanks. He's being harassed to the point of an entire police department pinning. Yeah, it's not the entire police department. No, it's not an entire police department. Half the police department believes that he's guilty. So they're, you know, all the ones that are pulling the strings, or the two that are pulling the strings, are just pulling strings. Everybody else still believes he's guilty. They're just kind of playing along. Thanks, Fun. I do fart rainbows. You guys are too nice. Verbal constipation, you are correct. Not to talk it down, but I bet that whole situation with the cousin wasn't as serious as it was made out to be. I agree with you, Brady. Should write a book on this case? Hell no. There's been a lot of books written. Good night, figure. Thank you for coming. I'm going to do another live Friday night, and maybe we can convince Pink to come Saturday. Wisconsin is not some Middle Eastern country. It's part of the United States. Brandishing gun. Falcon. I live in Alabama. Everybody carries. Everybody. Kids carry. Adults carry. Everybody carries. I don't even know why there's crime here, because everybody carries. It's not unusual that women, they sell pocketbooks geared towards women and guns. It's certain states are just like that. Good night, Kimberly. Patient's family member let go of a silent deadly fart next to me tonight. That's funny. Speaking from a legal standpoint, but not an emotional standpoint, I don't need to know every detail to know what people are claiming is highly improbable. Jen, because you're not hearing, you may be listening to the diehard Zellner bots that suck on her rainbows when she farts. That may be who you're listening to. But most of us on my side, on the dark side over here, and most, I would say 99% of the QT family here does not believe that there were 100 people and everyone's involved in this big setup and blah, blah, blah. We don't believe that. We believe that maybe one or two people at the top, being Kosarik and Bushman, Kosarik and Bushman, they are the ones that were pulling the strings. Everybody else believes that Stephen Avery's guilty and they're just playing their part. But no, it was not a big setup from 100 people. No, not everybody is involved in the scam. You'll never hear anyone in my rooms tell you differently. We just grabs rainbows. That's right. Falcon, I've said this to you before, and I know that a lot of people can't fully understand this. And maybe before my custody fight, I wouldn't have understood it. But I can promise you, if you've ever had a true smear campaign against you, where even your own family could have turned on you, or your best friends you're no longer friends with because of the smear campaign, because the person was credible and you weren't, or whatever, I can see why he put a gun to her head and said, you better cut this shit. If I would have owned a gun, I probably would have done it to my ex too. Unless you've been under that kind of like stress, you don't know what you would do. 10 years ago, if you asked me that, I'd think exactly how you were. Having gone through a smear campaign to the point that I lost friends, I didn't lose family, but I lost friends, everything. His family, my kid's family, like I was totally, totally chastised when I did nothing wrong. And if I had a gun, I may have killed him. So I get where Stephen was coming from. I really do. I suppose, see, Guy and Jackie, you do. I just absolutely do. I just posted, thanks, Pink. Or maybe one or two family members. I lived in a small town. Let me tell you, it's like the wild, wild west. That's what I'm saying, Fun. I learned that from living in Iowa, and Iowa's like not that small. But even here, you guys know like the app Nextdoor. I'm telling you, Nextdoor, like you read like, you know, somebody came to my door. Like everybody's got doorbell cameras and, oh, he's not getting in. I got a gun. I got this. I got that. You know, what do you carry? It's like second nature. Oh, verbal. It can be bad. Yes. Now, here's the thing, Renee. I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to bring this up in the next live. I heard secondhand because I have TTM blocked, but I did hear that TTM said, you know, he was proud of the fact that it puts to rest that there's only one RAV4. I call bullshit on that. I'm not saying that there's more than one, but what I am going to say is, did you ever hear of VIN switching or VIN cloning? To say, like, her answer to that was that, you know, you can't, we know it's only one because the VIN's matched. Thieves steal VIN numbers all the time and switch them out. I thought that was the stupidest answer I ever heard. It was bad. Explain why he'd murder someone when he had millions around the corner. I totally agree. I forgot to tag you in my last post, Pink. Watch the movie Gaslight. It is amazing. Yes, it is. I lived in 2 towns in Greece. Oh, that must have been nice. 1,000 population and 10,000 population. That's small. I lived in 8K 11 years. Wild, Wild West. I'm telling you, it is. It's not a walk in the park, but it is relevant to the disappearance of Teresa Halbach. What is? Oh, Gaslight? The VIN was supposedly tampered with. That's what they said too, Crow, is that it was tampered with. Like, they believe that when they first got it, it was tampered with or something. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just no way that you can definitively say, hey, you know what? It's because the VIN numbers match that I know it's the same car. That's ridiculous. Bushman, yes. It is what you can prove in court. If you can't prove it, it can't use it. That's very true. They communicated with guns and farts and fists. Why did I say farts? Because Pink said farts before. I missed half your show. I'll rewatch again and catch up on Bushman. No, Bushman is... All right. For those of you guys that are new, I'm going to make this easy for you. For those of you guys that are new and you really want to understand the level of corruption... Download, and it may even still be free on Kindle if you want to do the audio version, because that's what I did. So I can't sit down and read a book. John Ferrick's book, The Wrecking Crew, awesome book on the corruption. Talks all about the corruption, and the guy who's reading it, like if you do the audio book, he's got a really soothing voice. You know, I was cleaning my house listening to it. I was driving listening to it. It really, like, it explains all the corruption in Manitowoc County. It's a good way to catch up on the corruption part of this case. It was really good. We tripped you up, Purple. You did? How'd you trip me up? It's like hitting the lottery. No, the visions of Stephen Avery naked is tripping me up. It's like hitting the lottery and killing someone just because on the way to cash it. It's like selling your car for gas money. That's a good one. I like that. It's like selling your car for gas money. Craziest person wouldn't do it. That's very true. Nope. The window, the engine block, and the tranny. Walking through the woods on a neighbor's property. Just doing a video taping the horrible condition of Sonny's coupe. And then badmouth them. They called hubby. Val, what are you talking about? There were VIN plates on bumpers inside the door jams, trannies, engines. Whether he was responsible or not, a woman lost her life. A mentally ill child lost his life. It's sad all around. He wasn't mentally ill. He was slow. He wasn't mentally ill. Steven may have been mentally ill. If all places where VIN is tampered, then we know for real if it's her car or not. I know she said her hubby is tired of her lives. Who? Pink and, what's your name? Pink and, Valerie. Who are you guys talking about? I feel left out. Crow, open your driver's door and look at the panels. Lul's talk of Steven waving a gun around isn't relevant to whether he had anything to do with TA. K. Mello, you're 100% right. 100% right. He didn't know she had badmouthed them and then said, oh, yes, she has a YouTube channel. Check it out. So she ran and erased it. Who are you guys talking about? Damn it. CC's life. I don't know who CC's life is. To be able to debate, you have to remain unbiased. You can't take everything people say and find an excuse to seem redeemable. Some of his actions are inexcusable, period. Does that make him guilty? No. Jen, I'm sorry. I disagree with you. Everybody has a reason for why they do things. We weren't there. We don't know the whole story. So, you think he's guilty. You automatically are condemning him on these bullshit charges that he has when you don't know the case. You don't know enough about this case to say he's guilty or innocent. And for a lawyer, you say that you're an attorney. For an attorney, attorneys should know the facts of the case that they're representing. You can't seriously fight a case if you don't know the exact details. If you do, I'm sorry that you do, because that's not how a lawyer fights. A lawyer better know every fact of the case. Granted, if it's a big case, he doesn't need to know every small little detail, but he better know the major details, whether he's working for the DA or he's working for the defense team. I changed my channel without my nickname in it. No way, the state gave millions. He received a settlement that doesn't make much sense. Apparently some of Avery's past actions are 100% excusable. Apparently. Falcon, robbing a bank to get beer is excusable. Throwing a cat, they claim that he didn't do it. The records state that him and his friend did it. Is it excusable? Absolutely not. Is it the worst thing I've ever heard? No. I've heard people other places do it too. He got caught for everything he did. All right, let me just say this. And I'm not trying to implicate myself here, but I'm being honest. And I wouldn't be me if I wasn't honest. Steven got caught for pretty much every fucking thing he ever did. And it wasn't much, but he got caught. I've done things that could have put me away for 20 to 40 years. I could be in federal prison right now. Well, I'm probably getting out right about now. But, I've done things that I'm not proud of. I've done things that most people wouldn't do. I've done things that could literally put me away in federal prison for many, many, many years. And I almost went to federal prison on a white-collar charge. And if something ever happened to me and I died or I was murdered and people looked up my YouTube channels, I would be hung. Like, they would destroy me. Like, people thought Shannon Watts got destroyed. I would be destroyed as this horrible human being. Because you know what? If you look at everything, or assuming that I would have gotten caught at those things, you would be bashing me too, telling me that I'm this horrible person, or that I'm this or I'm that. Stephen Avery did not do those horrible things. He did one or two bad things. And yes, they're not excusable, but he did his time for it. If somebody does their time, they paid time for it. It's done. People deserve another chance. And you guys, the one thing that bothers me about Gilters, he didn't fucking rape anybody. He didn't murder anybody. All right, let's say, even if you believe he murdered Teresa, he did before that. He never murdered anybody. He never raped anybody. He never violently beat up anybody. He never fucking laid his hands on anybody. He was a mouther. You know, I know Jody says he beat me, but I'm talking like men, bar fights, never been arrested for assault. I mean, he wasn't that horrible of a person. He made some mistakes. He did his time for it. Move the fuck on already. You know, people have done a lot worse than him that have gotten forgiven. So just move on already. Rant over. Thank you, Deborah. The running a lady off a road was his fucking cousin. It wasn't some random stranger. It was his cousin. It means nothing. He should not be in prison for the rest of his life for the cat. Exactly. Jen. And Renee, by the way, I got your email. I rarely look at that email, but I did get it. And I don't want you to think I didn't get it or I didn't answer. I know it was like super long, but I promise you I'll read it and answer it tomorrow. I meant to tell you that. He wouldn't have gotten 36 million, but he would have gotten probably around 5 million, 6 million. But it would have came out of pockets. It wasn't coming out of the state. If it was 5 million covered by the state, hey, no problem. But it wasn't 5 million coming out of the state. It was 5 million coming out of Kosorik's pocket. That's the problem. I'm in federal prison right now on a burner cell. People do dumb shit when they're wasted. I agree. And he was fine. He was punished for it. He did like 8 years in jail for it. A lot of people kill cats and don't go to prison. Oh, he definitely wouldn't have got 36 million. Like Marty Tankleff, he was in jail for 17 years. He was supposed to get 10. I think he got 3 or 4. Believe me, Stephen would have been happy with 1 million. Could we come and bail you out? You could bail me out. Jen, didn't I tell you the other night to go read all the cast? So you tell him, Renee. He should not be in prison for the rest of his life for the cat. Got that. Lawyers things mean son. No, they don't. The cat was doused by SA, but it was Jonda or other that tossed it. That's what they said. It's in an affidavit and filed in court. He confessed tossing the cat because the other person was on probation. I do remember that. I actually have a video about that. A lot of killers abuse animals, kids, so it's a hard one. But it doesn't automatically make him a murderer. I think it's an interesting note. I agreed. He would have gotten way more than 4. He would have gotten way more than 4. He would have got a few million. Shauna White nonsense. I don't dislike you or anyone. Well, maybe Travis or Joseph. What happened to Joseph? Joseph, like, disappeared. What kind of ATT are you? Just curious. ATT? What's ATT? My brain is fried. Ever watched Go Season 1, 1 and 2, refresh your memory. Steven is 56. He has time to fight this. I agree. Studies done proving serial killers don't have to kill or abuse animals. No longer a sign to look for. Attorney. Oh, that was for Jen. Okay. I don't think he would have got 10 million. I think it would have got like 5. It'd be funny if they asked me for the artwork someday. Why, you did a logo? Oh, the Coes Heads made a logo for their t-shirt. So you're saying 56 is young. 56 is young. I'm almost there. Falcon, what you talking about? You're almost there too. Falcon, they have a t-shirt. Yeah, I gotta get the merch done. I really do. I mean, it's really, I just gotta find a right manufacturer for it. Because Falcon did my logo already. I think it's ready. Right, Falcon? I can use that logo for merch now, right? Since we made it transparent, right? Aww. See, Falcon, everyone's pulling for you. Who is a guilter? It means everything in regards to credibility. If he didn't do those things, do you think he would be where he is today, framed or not? Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up for a second, Jen. Stephen Avery did 18 fucking years for a rape he did not do. Do you know why he's really in there now? I mean, do you really understand why he's in there? Why they had to set him up? Why he needed to be in there? Because it wasn't even, I don't even think it was about $36 million. It was about them looking bad. It was about them looking like assholes that they were clear out busted, keeping this man in jail for 8 more years than he should have been. That's why they put him away. They were not going to make themselves look like assholes. And guess what? Wisconsin has a history of this. It's not new. All right, that's what I thought, Falcon. I figured so. Had every single gun incident with Steven, because there was really just one, but every single gun incident with Steven happened because of his cousin. They released him 8 years after they knew it wasn't him, Falcon. Everyone who believes Steven is innocent, type 1 reason you believe in Steven. All right, so Valor said everyone who believes in Steven is innocent. Type 1 reason you believe in Steven. This will be good answers. An outline single color logo is cheapest to produce. No, I really like the logo he did, though. That comment wasn't for you. It was for Laura, assuming I'm some guilter. No, I'm a common sensor. Jen, if you were a common sensor, you would not think he's guilty. And I mean that honestly. Common sense, it's like saying that you'll get justice inside of a courtroom. It never happened. As an attorney, you know that. Common sense and the law does not go hand in hand. Common sense and convictions absolutely do not go hand in hand. No evidence pointing to S.A. Colburn's phone call. Deleted my Discord too. Wow, Mama said. Innocent, not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I'll agree with that. No TH blood in trailer. No marks on bed. Every gun incident with Steven happened because of someone else. Every gun incident, there was one. He's not responsible for his actions in any way. Someone else made him do those things. Blah, blah, blah. I was incredibly disappointed. I didn't mean to talk shit, but it was unfortunately the end of my interest. Innocent. Thanks, Mama said. Innocent, no evidence showing he was involved in any crime. The blood, there is none. Brady, personal opinion is irrelevant. That is the law. I have an issue with it. Take it up with you. What's the law? Why are people being rude? You don't even know this man. No DNA of Teresa in the house or garage. No evidence in the bedroom where a crime was supposed to have occurred based on BD's confession. Okay, so we're kind of getting like both. Some are saying what Brendan was confessed on, was blamed on. Some are saying what Stephen was tried on. My personal one, my biggest one is that piece of shit press conference. Right there sealed his innocence for me. That was the biggest travesty I've ever seen in the entire criminal justice system ever. Ever. Past, present, or future. Right there sealed the deal for me that Ken Kratz is a fucking puppet douchebag and Stephen Avery's innocent. Hands down. Falcon. It's irrelevant. He served his time. Get over it. People do crimes and they serve the time and they get out. They are not expected to be held to this their entire life. For example, Falcon, let me give you an example. Kid has stupid little crimes. He, robs locals, gum or a candy bar or stupid little things, all right? He was always a nuisance to the police. He gets into bar fights, but he never did anything major, just like stupid little things. Then he does something major. He's in an armed robbery, let's say, and he wasn't holding a gun, but he was an armed robbery. And let's say he accidentally killed somebody, or he's being charged with the crime because he accidentally murdered someone. He did his time. He got 15 to 30, and they let him out in 12 or 13 on good behavior. Remember, he wasn't the shooter. But somebody is still dead. Does this kid deserve a second chance? Or are you going to never allow this kid to grow even though he did his time? Of course this kid deserves a chance to grow. This kid deserves a chance to be a normal person. Once you do, it's like a punishment. If my kids do something and I ground them, do I hold it against them the rest of their fucking life? No. I ground them, they do their punishment, and it's over with, and it's never brought up again. Give the guy a life. Thanks, Connie. If you jaywalk, should you get punished for past problems? Probably. I'm telling you, I would be convicted. If I would have got caught for some of the things that I've done, I would literally be away for 20 to 40 years, if not more. We are interested and don't care about justice. If you are not interested, don't talk shit. We are interested. Oh, we are interested and care about justice. I thought you said we're not interested in justice. I was like, what? Hope Stephen buys a tiger with all the money he gets in Wisconsin. All the evidence can now be contested except for the blood. Cops look bad every day. Jen, again, you don't know the backstory. You don't know the backstory of Wisconsin and what these cops have done. I'm not going to debate something that you don't understand and you don't know the backstory. I can sit here and educate you about the whole backstory, but I'm not. Go learn it. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about stuff that you don't know what you're talking about. Guy and Jackie, I totally missed my calling. I did. I really did. I should have, could have, would have, and didn't. And I failed. But I'm certainly not going to do it now. It would be another 4 years of school. Then I'd be like 52. I'm not even answering that he was a drunk loser. Now you're just fucking clueless and just making shit up. I'm done. Done. It comes down to there is reasonable doubt. We can't be convicting people unless we're 100% sure. Well, that's the whole reasonable doubt thing. That's exactly right. It's definitely an... On Event says he's definitely an innocent drunk loser. I agree. I agree with the loser. Shauna, I'm thinking the exact same thing. That's why I'm not buying it at all. There's a lot of things that have been said that a lawyer would not say. Jen, what the fuck are you talking about? He chose not to be a father. He was a fucking great father. He was there for his kids. He did everything he fucking could for his kids. You don't have a fucking clue what you're rambling. You're just rambling shit out of your ass that you're making up as you go along. He was there for his children. He did everything for his kids. You're fucking clueless. I am done. I'm just getting mad. I'm done. I'm not even answering anymore. Hey, Life Rewinded. For real, Guy in Jacket, it's kind of what it's feeling like. That's right, Brett. I'm on no kids that I know of anyway. Falcon's gonna have kids. It's not Valentine's Day yet. It's 10 more minutes. Even losers have rights in this country. We aren't electing him for president, just simply looking to see if his rights were violated. Thanks, Verbal. My ex-boyfriend used to say that all the time. He used to get me mad just to get me mad. He was a good father when he was out. He did everything he could for his kids. Yeah, that's a big responsibility. It's not Valentine's Day yet. He was ripped away from his family as well as the one he took on because he did not have a father. He worked all day and then put up sheetrock, laid down in bed, and woke up to being arrested. Deborah, that is true, and they cannot make up for lost time. Absolutely not. You will see how stupid young men act. That doesn't mean they are bad. I was returning to Hester. Pink's my Valentine. At least now I got a Valentine. At least somebody asked me to be a Valentine. Britt, I agree with you that I couldn't imagine being a parent and being ripped away. I really couldn't. I mean, that's got to be hard. Like, seriously hard. Can I say something so bad? You want to be my Valentine too, Brady? What? Say it. Teresa, oh good. Shoo. I am so into this case, it's sick. I read all the trial transcripts, Casso on my phone. I really enjoyed YouTube. Only enjoyed YouTube to research the case. I know, I'm waiting for Brady. I would like to add Steven's upbringing didn't offer stellar role model either. That's very true. Pink seems like Big Juicy's mom. They are so similar. Oh my God, they are so not similar. See, you've only seen her during parody, though. Pink is nothing like her at all. Pink is the sweetest, most loving person ever who would give you the last dollar if she had it on her. And even if she needed 50 cents, she would still give you the last dollar. Marissa would rob you blind. She would stab you in the back, take all your money, and rob you. And laugh while she did it, and then cry that she was poverty and that she needed more money. They're totally different. Totally. Who's Big Juicy? Go lightly. Avery was dealt some shitty cards. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think Avery ever had a chance, but he still was better than his brothers. She's doing and robbing old ladies' fat tits. I can see why you might think that, but it's a nature versus nurture debate. Pink is a very smart woman. She really is. Maybe he felt the universe, powers that be, what have you, owed him something. I don't get that impression from him, Falcon. I really don't. Perp has a crush on Mensa. Don't even get me started. I agree, Life Rewind. They can't even stand here in a name. I'll go with that one. Oh, look at Brady. Oofa, Brady for the dig. Brady for the kill. Boom. Drop the mic. Someday it will be 5 years from now. Oh, I don't doubt it'll take a long time. Literally the only reason I put it. I know. I know. Peace and love, peeps. Happy Valentine's Day. And Avery will still be in prison. I don't know, Falcon. I really don't. I wrote you on Facebook, Perplex. When? I haven't even looked at Facebook in about 6 hours. 5 hours? 5 hours. What you're saying is Laura does not like Steven, but like most we feel, that's right. I don't know him to like him or dislike him. I don't have to like him. I'll never meet him. I don't ever want to meet him. I feel bad for his supporters, some more than others. Hopefully we hear the courts on the stuff. It's insane. There is no time limit. Yeah, you know, Brady, you know what's actually insane about it? Like, honestly, you can have, like, the Supreme Court. It's almost like your parents and kids. Like, I don't have to give you answers, but you got to give me answers. The state doesn't have to, appeal courts have no time limits, but you have serious time limits to answer, like them. I'm 5 years. I'm sure you'll remind us, Falcon. Don't worry, guys. I'll still be here. And I'll be even more lonely because my kids will be out of the house. The lawyer in the room is slandering, libel, I guess, and character bashing. Just saying. I'll agree. Life Rewinded. There you go. I do. Less than 5% are sitting in, innocent people are currently sitting in prison according to statistics. It's between 3 and 5%. Though you're wrong about the other motion, what Zellner said. Did you read my comment? I'm never wrong, Falcon. No, I was wrong about what motion? Falcon timestamp 1049. You were a truther. If Essay wasn't falsely convicted the first time and saw the shady shit they put him through, maybe we would think differently. Ellie had it out for him the second time. On to France. It's on defense, not on to France. So we see someday we can hope. You could adopt an animal. They give unconditional love. Get a puppy. My breeder just had 4 new Malteses. So you have 4 little Fluffernutter butters. Is Fluffernutter butter sleeping? It's with my daughter because I did the what you call it, the podcast before here, so I didn't want him barking and stuff. So we went and slept with my daughter. Just because the officer stepped on the proper case. You know, the thing that makes me think S.A. is innocent is the fact that he could have gotten rid of the car or ran as soon as they were onto him. That's exactly right. We should all meet back here in 5 years of Valentine's Day and see what's happening. Hey, Karen, who said I'm ever leaving? Exactly. Instead of assuming that I think that these things personally is just asinine, I'm just regurgitating what I've heard about Steven, which I said 1,000 times, why I wanted to know why Laura was so passionate about this case. I've said it, Jen, 100 times. There's 208 videos that I've done of why, well, not all, but I'd say 195 videos of why I'm so passionate about this case. I explain everything. Just starting a pod, I believe you're brilliant and feisty and stand up for what you believe in. Other than that, it was super awesome watching you guys go at it. Don't sue me. That was nothing on defense. There you go, life. I have a hubby, 3 feral kitties that live in the house. Whoops. Schadenfreude? I couldn't even pronounce that. Looks like Farfanugan to me. Thanks, Life Rewinded. I haven't been to Facebook yet tonight. I haven't been on there all day. The last couple of hours. I think Kratz has joined us, guys. So far I've been yelled at, stripped of my profession. Like, what the hell, I'm out. I'll do a live soon. Okay. If I would bring that word in here. I have 2 cats and a feral 3-year-old. My favorite. What's up, Tara? Tara? Zelda got played today. Come on, playlist. Zelda didn't get played. Goofball. Yes, so stop being judgmental on our channel and calling her biased. I don't care if people call me biased. We all try to be respectful of each other. Falcon not nice. What'd Falcon say? I don't. It means Farfanugan. I'm too tired to even care. I've heard the term. I can't even think of what it means at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even pronounce it at the moment. I don't care. Much respect, no offense. When they go free, fucking take you out for a steak dinner and champagne. She keeps calling you on to France. It's on the fence. So that's why I asked, not assumed what you meant. Thank you, Dawn. I feel like my head is spinning. Jen, I got news for you. If that made your head spin, you could never debate me. Because I would have you doing 360s over and over and over again. That should have never made your head spin. I used to have hundreds of animals, but then I got whacked. I mean, something that other experiences at one time or another. That's right. I knew that. I'm going to call Paris now. All the info about Laura stands on this case is on her channel if you're interested. Thank you, Verbal. Then listen on your way to work. Guy and Jackie are the best. Falcon, I'm so stupid. That's why I'm here. Talking to you. Don't preach people the wrong meeting. No biggie. I love French fries. This case will make your head spin. Alright, gang, my pills are good. I was waiting until 12 to close so I could say Happy Valentine's Day because then it's like 12 o'clock here. It's still not 12 o'clock by Falcon. But Phyllis, you have a wonderful Valentine's Day too. Hopefully someone will be where they should be tomorrow, if they're not already. But I'll find out more tomorrow. I could be wrong always. You are wrong. Oh, you gave me the wrong meaning of the word? I could look it up. I could be a wise ass and look it up. You are very wrong. It means something getting joy from someone else's sadness. Ooh, Crow Friend puts Falcon in his place. Oofa. I'm often wrong too, Karen. And I'm the first to admit it. And I suck at pronunciations. Boom is right. It's 10 here. Let's chat. I'm making a pot of coffee. No, I have to go to bed. I got to be up in 4.5 hours. And I was late to work today. I was an hour late. My paycheck is going to suck. I've been late so much. What the fuck does it matter if Shanann was drunk anyway? How'd Shanann come into the picture? Oh yeah, the Holly invented Hallmark and sees candy. The voicemail of Zelna received today wasn't even worth responding to, especially to the court. In short, the message was, don't respond back today and we'll check the bone bag tomorrow. You're missing the big picture playlist. And I am going to cut this live after I explain the playlist for the 100th fucking time why it has meaning. Playlist. Let me just say, you and I are on the same page a lot. Most of the stuff that Zelna comes out with is bullshit. All her Zelna bots that I fight with all the time are all, yeah. You know, oh, let's suck her ass with rainbows. So you and I are in agreement on most of it, okay? We see eye to eye, okay? But this one, I disagree. Here's why. For the 100th time. Let me get comfy. Okay. If the voicemail doesn't insinuate the bones were not there, I agree with you. But you have to see the big picture. The big picture is Zellner's. Thanks, Shauna. Zellner is. Hold on. Jen, but a lot of people here have watched all 208 videos. And a lot of people here have been with me from the beginning. You have to remember that. A lot of people have followed this case from the beginning. Okay, so let me get back to playlist. In and itself, no, it doesn't mean much. But what does mean a lot is, for the last 3 years, they have made an agreement with Zellner that she can come test the bones. Zellner could stop in at any time and test those bones because for 3 years, they said that those bones were there. Okay? In 2011, before they gave the bones away, Steven said that he wanted to test them. There should be absolutely no fucking question or doubt that that bones were there. They shouldn't even, the lawyers, we don't know, let's wait to see and make sure they're here. It is a state requirement for them to make fucking sure that the bones were there. So to say it's meaningless, no, it's not meaningless. It's big. Is it going to overturn his conviction? Fuck no. Is it going to do anything that's going to, be earth-shattering? No. But it shows a series of corruption against the state. It shows a series of lies against the state. That's what makes it major. Boom. Drop the mic. All right. So playlist, that was it. And on that note, I am going to go because I'm tired. I can't be late for work. I haven't eaten in like hours and I'm hungry. Boom. I agree. Boom is right. I love you when you get into it. Thanks, Crow. I love you guys. They're super passionate. That being said, I like the volume you gave to the group on your limited knowledge of the case. If you looked further, it'd be nice to see your point. My stats speaking for themselves. Oh, well. Anyways, good night. That's it. It's after 12. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Should I know I've watched at least 150? Thanks, Britt. Just don't make fun of my hair and the other ones. Thank you, guys. Happy Sea Candies Day. Thank you, Falcon. I think my Valentine's left already. But seriously, happy Valentine's Day, Valerie. I really hope that I explained a playlist in a way that everyone can understand that it's not just simply about the bones or that they covered it up. There's more to it than that. And that more to it than that, in my opinion, is that she's showing how the state is lying and how there's more and more corruption. That's all. So again, I wish everybody a wonderful, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys get lots of chocolate. And I hope that you guys get a little something, something. I know Karen's going to get a little something, something. And for us single people, thanks to Katrina, now we have Stephen Avery naked in our head. So let's zoop it out. And I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Have fun with your cats and puppies. And I will see you guys on Friday. Unless something major happens tomorrow, I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I'll definitely be here Friday. Hey, Mandy. Mandy, I wanted to talk to you. Mandy, are you on Facebook? This is my last day of 52. Last day of 52. 52 what? Thanks, Verbo. Please send me a request, because I do need to speak to you. Like, bad. Send me a request. LAURAKECK. Pronto. Alright? I'm going to bed soon, but I'll even talk to you on the phone. Like, I need to talk to you about something. So, alright, guys. I will see you guys on Friday night. I love you guys. Again, happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you guys then. And peace out. Oh, and I forgot the closing. Be you, be real, and be awesome.